Now we're going to be looking at creating assessments within Canvas. Now, Canvas has a new feature that just rolled out this summer, and it was called Quizzes.next. And it's actually using a third-party service within Canvas to make more interactive quizzes. And it's really a better option than using the quizzes that you see here. So I'm going to show you that one. Also, the quizzes right here will eventually roll into the Quizzes.next. So that option will eventually disappear anyway. So I'm going to click on Assignments. And if you watch the Assignments video, you probably noticed that instead of plus assignments, there was also a plus quiz/test. So I'm actually going to click that one now. And what it does is it pulls up just like the assignment did, to where I go through and I give it a title. So I'm just going to say test 1. Going to say it's 100 points. And then everything else, just make sure that it syncs with SIS. Don't change anything for the submission type. Now, it shouldn't allow you to, but if you mess with this, then it won't work correctly. And then make sure you have your due date, and then if you want to hide it, make sure it's available from, and then hit save and publish. Once you do that, it actually takes you to the quiz creation part where you can add your questions. And with this, it has a lot of neat features. So pretty much any type of questioning you can think of, you can put in to quizzes now. So this is where I can put in my instructions, and it's just a rich content box. So I just type and I can use these features. You know, if I needed a video or anything like that, I could do that. But then I click down here at this plus sign, and this is where I can start adding my questions. And it gives me a variety of questions to choose from. And then also, anything that I put into Canvas, it automatically generates a bank. So I can actually click the bank button here and pull in questions that I've already asked. Now, there's not anything preloaded in here for a bank, but the good thing is anything you put in here becomes your bank. So by the end of the semester or year, you should have quite a bit of questions within here if you've used this. So most of these are straightforward in between categorization, file upload, things like that. What I would suggest is looking at each of these to see if it would fit exactly what you need. But the one that you're probably going to be more interested in if you're a reading teacher or need a reading passage with questions is stimulus. And what that does is it allows me to add content to this panel here. So let's say I wanted to do reading passage. And then I put in my content, which that could be a copy and paste. I could upload a file, things like that. I could do anything within this. I'm going to add a stimulus, and now I can attach questions to it. So those same questions that I had above, I can attach here, and it keeps it right beside of this. So it becomes fantastic if you have a question that is multi-part based on something that the students need to see. So that was just something real quick I wanted to go through. Let me just do a multiple choice question real quick so you can see kind of how that looks. Then I just type in the question I want. Now it needs to be noted that you can't just upload questions like from a Word document or something like that into this, because it's not really designed for that. But if you know your questions, you can copy and paste in, so it makes it pretty easy to go through and do this. Now, I have it here. I can also go back and edit the question anytime I want to. And by the way, anything I select here, that is the answer key. So that's the answer choice that's going to be counted correct. I can also choose how many points to assign by answer. So if I wanted to give partial credit to an answer, I could. Now for this, I could shuffle the answer choices, so if I wanted to shuffle them for each student, that would be fine too. And then finally, for the item banking, I could add it to a bank, or it adds it to a bank automatically. I'm going to click done, and then when I'm done, that's it. I can actually go back and I'll see the actual item within my assignment. So whenever I look at it, I'll see my test 1, and it'll automatically be there. I can also go back into it at any time. Just because I clicked return doesn't mean that I can't go back to it and edit it. Because if I go back into it, you'll see that I'll be able to actually edit the assignment itself. It's not a one and done, so I don't have to worry about setting it up and then I can't edit it later. I can always go back in there and update. But I would be careful updating if you've already given the test, because then let's say you found a wrong answer, you can go back in there and update that, and that should update the points. But if you're redoing questions completely, you don't want to go back in there and update those questions after you've already given it. So now let's go to our module so that you can see how this can be added in. It's similar to assignments, because since this is in the assignment groups now, all I have to do is go to the module I want it to be in, click the plus sign, and then I'll see test 1 right here in my assignments. Add item, and it's here. Now let's look at these prerequisites one more time, because now with unit 1 I can add different requirements. So let's say that in order for me to finish up this module, I can add a requirement that before this module is complete on test 1, I have to score at least an 80. And with that, this won't be complete until I score an 80 on that test, which means unit 2 wouldn't open up until then. So, I mean, there's just a lot of neat things once you start putting content in that you can do to organize this content.